Alright, what is up guys? Losermaniac here, and welcome to... Hold on, I want to put this on camera. Oh, yeah. Welcome to somewhat of a story time video. I wanted to talk about this because, I don't know. I'm not a really good storyteller, so I'm hoping this can kind of fix that. So, and it's been almost a year since this happened. Well, it's been a year and a couple months since this happened. I'm gonna talk to you guys about the best experience of my life. So I talked about my scariest experience, but since Christmas is almost here, even though I feel like we need to be more hyped for Thanksgiving because that is the true holiday. By the way, last time you ever see me in a white shirt. I'm a fat guy. I don't want that to be shown. Uh, so yeah, so even though this happened in the summer, I still feel the need to talk about it because I don't know. I won't be able to talk about this on my trip. So, or as you guys are watching this, I'm probably on my trip already. I have a video I need to upload today, which is Monday. And then I think I'll have this video uploaded Tuesday. So yeah, by the time you are watching this, I am getting ready for my trip to Washington. So, I'll try and have at least one or two more videos up, during my trip or made for or at Washington, Kennedy style, but yeah. So this is the greatest experience of my life, and I want to talk about this because I probably won't be able to talk about it as much during my trip, and I love this story because it's funny, it's different than what I have. So before I start, alright, we can start it. There's audio listeners being like, alright, before I start, alright, now we can get started. It's just like, what the fuck happened? So, I want to say it was last year. Actually, it was last year. Almost, yeah. It would have been, I think, August? It's either August or July. It was whenever Slipknot's new album came out. Around that month. I graduated from okay, so let's start here. I was about to graduate from high school when I was either gonna stay at my dad's or I was coming back to my mom's. I get word of the fact that I get to go see Slipknot live. Now, first of all, if you guys haven't listened to any of this stuff, if you're in a pissy mood, definitely listen to them. They are best when you're in a pissed off mood, even though you can just listen to them normally. That's totally fine. But if you're in a pissed off mood, you and your girlfriend or boyfriend, or for whatever, get into an argument, or your boss has fired you, or your boss pissed you off, do whatever, listen to them. They are fucking amazing. So, and so Slipknot was coming to town, and so, town being my town, which is Aurora, but they were going to be in Denver, close enough. I live in the Denver, Aurora area, even though I mostly live in Aurora. Anyways, whatever. So we go, and there's 4 bands total. It's in the order that they played. Behemoth, Gojira, Volbeat, and Slipknot. If you guys are into heavy metal as much as I am, then you know exactly what the fuck those bands are about. So, well, obviously Slipknot, because if you listen to metal like I do, you obviously know Slipknot. So we go, so keep in mind, this is at the Pepsi Center. One thing you need to know about this is there's floors and then there's seating on the side, kind of like a regular stadium. First of all, it's a hockey stadium. It's where I think the Colorado Avalanche plays, which confuses the fuck out of me. How you could explain to you could explain how a hockey field works, or how a stadium works with that takes hockey and like basketball. I still will not know how it works. So, sorry, my mom texted me something. So, ooh, you don't want that. So I feel like, so I'm confused as fuck how we're not walking on ice. So my dad got, so it was me and my dad that went. Now, one thing about my dad is before this concert, he wasn't hugely into like deathcore or black metal or whatever. He was mostly into like AC/DC, Led Zeppelin. He did like Slipknot, don't get me wrong. He was into Volbeat and whatnot, but bands like Behemoth were, one, new to him, and two, something I figured he wouldn't like, because if you guys know Behemoth, you guys know how fucking aggressive they are. So I'm like, this is gonna be interesting. So we're waiting at the thing. One thing I feel like needs to be said: metal people are actually pretty nice. Although I was mostly the nice one here. If I saw someone with a Slipknot shirt, I'd be like, "Hey, nice shirt," because that's who we're gonna go see. If they were wearing a Van Sevenfold shirt, obviously, hell yeah, why not? And there was this one guy dressed in like a Slipknot costume. It was fucking amazing. But I remember, so one thing you also need to keep in mind, my dad got tickets for stands, which, to be honest, I could care less where the tickets were. You could have had me behind the stage. As long as I got to hear Slipknot live, that would have been amazing. But you'll understand why I'm mentioning that in a moment. So the doors are opening. We get into the line. I believe there's like a certain area or there's a certain line that's like, if you got it from a specific, it was either you got it from a specific website, or if you were in the mosh area. I'm not going to explain what a mosh area is, it's way too complicated for me, or at least not right now, because it will come up in a moment. But the mosh area is also known as the floor area, where you can stand up and watch, where you don't have seats, kind of like closer to the stage. It's actually a pretty cool thing, and one I highly advise, because so we get into our line, and as we're doing our thing, we've been standing in the line for about almost an hour or two, hour and a half, whatever. So as we're inching closer to the door to go into the stadium, me and my dad thought, or my dad was like, "Alright, you know what? Let's go this way." There was two sets of doors opening, or that had opened, and so we thought we'd take the shorter end of the line just to get there quicker. You know, it's something I feel like a lot of people do. So if anything, we weren't being impatient. It was just like, hey, you know, this is available, let's go. So we go, and my dad shows this guy our tickets, and he gives us these wristbands. Now, I can't remember if the line that we was in was getting wristbands, but I was like, is this something that happens? I've never been to a proper concert. What I mean by that is, I've never been to a concert I wanted to go to. Maybe back then I did, because I went and saw the Wiggles, Carrie Underwood, which now I'm like, why the fuck was I watching Carrie Underwood? I don't even like country anymore, or I don't think I ever did, but whatever. And then it was Slipknot, so to me, this is my first concert because it's something I really wanted to see. And besides, I, I feel like I didn't agree to the Carrie Underwood concert, so, and I can't say anything about the Wiggles. I don't remember that, so my first proper concert. So yeah, I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is access to get in. Even though tickets are proof, we need to just for safety reasons, you know, we need the wristbands to prove you are a part or that you are here to watch this. So so we get the wristbands, we put them on, and I'm following my dad. I've been here maybe once. So we decided to look around, see what there is. And just to look for our seats, you know, try to figure out, kind of scope out where our seats are. So we go, and we immediately turn left. And all of a sudden, this guy goes, and it's so we see this like entrance. It's restrooms, and then there's like entrances. And so the security guard goes, the security guard guy, a different one goes, hey, do you guys have wristbands? So we pulled up our wristbands, and it said, you're clear. So we're confused as fuck. We're like, what? Why wristband specific? Come to find out, as we was walking, it was the mosh area. So our tickets sent us to the stands, but somehow in the line, we got to stand during the show, which fucked me up because I'm wearing Vans. I dressed prepared to be in the stands. I didn't dress prepared to go in the mosh pit area. So already greatest concert ever. Which, by the way, I will say it was the greatest experience of my life. I haven't had kids yet, and I haven't blown up the institute at the time. But this is still the greatest experience of my life. So me and my dad are freaking the fuck out for two different reasons. I got to stand in the mosh pit area. Now look, it was a common error. We didn't know what the hell happened. This is our first time doing my first time doing something like this. We both didn't know. We were both just as confused. But I'm kind of glad that we got to be in this. We got to stand while watching because some shit went down. So, well, not for the bad, but so one thing you have to keep in mind, I've been watching a lot of Slipknot live. I listened to a lot of Slipknot. I listened to a lot of Slipknot live once I was first getting into Slipknot. And then from that point on, I was like, you know, if something comes out, fine, I'll listen to it. But I don't know. It's just, I just feel like, you know, I've heard them all. Whatever. I'm not into the earlier stuff because I didn't know them at the time during that earlier stuff. So whatever. So we go and so like, awesome. We get the stands. So we decided to walk out because. Well, we decided to go walk around and see if we can find our actual seats that we got. Now, keep in mind, we didn't use those seats. We ended up going to the mosh area because, you know, it's... Why not, you know? If you're gonna if you're gonna walk on ice, you might as well dance. That's for something else, but you guys get the point. We got access to the mosh pit area. We're gonna fucking use that. We're gonna use that opportunity. So, anyway, so we got T-shirts for the show. My dad wanted to wait until he got home to try it on. I was like, fuck it, I'm doing it now. So I wore the shirt we got. Already, because I was like, fuck it, I can't wait. I want to put this on. So we go, and before the before the first performance, before even Behemoth went on, they were the first bands to perform. Before even Behemoth started, it was maybe an hour or so, or an hour and a half before Behemoth started. I start to feel a bit lightheaded, and I thought maybe I'm so excited, I'm getting lightheaded, you know. Come to find come to find out from later in the show, no, I was getting contact high. So, or I wasn't involved in any substances. I didn't drink. I didn't smoke weed there. I'm 19. Well, I was 18 at the time. You know, something I wouldn't do. Or at least in an area where I risk police finding me. Otherwise, if it's like a friend's house or if it's a party, dude, fucking off the table. You know, drink, abuse, drugs. I'll do whatever to an extent. That's kind of a joke, kind of not. But hold on, give me a moment. I'm feeling uncomfortable in this shirt. Alright, that's better. Alright, so where was I at? Yeah, I got contact high. Don't do drugs or alcohol where I risk getting caught, police, whatever. So anyway, Behemoth starts. I decided to put on earbuds because I know what Behemoth is. They're black metal. I do not like black metal because they're too aggressive. And I, at the same time, on the opposite spectrum, I don't like white metal or Christian metal because it's just not for me, you know. Anyway, sorry, I was closing my drawers here on the side. So Behemoth plays, and I learned after the show my dad really enjoys Behemoth, which took me by a massive surprise. Because again, Dad's into like classic rock, like, well, I guess classic metal, like Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, freaking like hair metal stuff, you know. So hearing him say that Behemoth is amazing took me for a shock. Any of you heavy metal or metal fans know what the fuck I'm talking about. Unless you listen to Christian metal, then you guys have no clue. Behemoth is very like screamo, like coming, like singing from back here, aggressive. Where you like growl, where you growl and shit, like enough to fuck up your throat if you don't do it, if you don't know how to safely sing like that, which is possible. So we go. Behemoth plays, and then Gojira plays. I am feeling more and more uncomfortable. I ended up getting so uncomfortable. Before the concert started, I looked up the set list that Slipknot was gonna play, and I wrote it down on Spotify. I copied it to Spotify, and so the whole time I'd be like, "Alright, this song is next." Like, okay, Duality is next, Psychosocial's next, you know, type stuff. At the end of it, I went from being like, I don't want to leave to I want to fucking leave. It was so bad, but I did stay to the end of the concert because, you know, it's fucking Slipknot. How many times am I gonna see Slipknot? Probably once. So what? So why the fuck not, right? So, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So Behemoth plays and Gojira play. Next was Volbeat and then Slipknot. So between Gojira and Volbeat, there was this couple we talked to. And by the way, after each band, we got closer to the stage until after Volbeat, we went back. I couldn't deal with it, you know. You gotta keep in mind, my dad's perfectly fine. I'm over here, feet are hurting because I'm wearing Vans and like the least comfortable kind too. I'm over here in song squatting with my hand on the ground to make sure that I'm not fucking toppling over, or I'm not being like, or passing out or whatever. I'm lightheaded. I'm hungry. My voice went out the whole night. I have video of Slipknot performing Devil and I, and there's a certain part of the song where they pause in that song, get the crowd anxious for the second half, and I'm cheering, and you can hear how dead my voice is. It's bad. Which, by the way, I had a good time. I don't want you guys thinking like, oh man, he suffered or whatever. No, it was an amazing time. This stuff happened because I was willing to do this. It's Slipknot. I was willing to go out of my way to, well, okay, I didn't know I was going to get contact high. But I was willing to risk getting contact. Well, it was going to happen either way, but still, like, do all this stuff. Stand up and watch them. Enjoy the music because of this experience. You don't see stuff like this ever again. Which, by the way, I wish I had seen them during .5. Because that would have been so much better. So, anyways. So there was this couple we met. And they was talking about how they came to see Volbeat, which is fine, I'm not expecting anyone to, like, be here for Slipknot. Which is weird, because if Behemoth was first, I feel like that's kind of like a, if you don't like this stuff, then you're definitely not gonna like Slipknot, or then that's fine. Or if you don't like Gojira, then you won't like Slipknot. I understand it's hard to compare them, but that's kind of how it is, So we're talking to this couple when all of a sudden I hear my name being called in the background, like in the distance. I hear Trevor, which I didn't think anything of, because that's happened to me before. I've heard my name. I see no one looking at me. I don't know of anyone else named Trevor, so I think nothing of it. I'm thinking I'm crazy, whatever. But then I hear it again, and it's louder. I just hear Trevor. I'm like, what the? I asked my dad, "Do you hear that?" Dad's like, "What?" I'm like, someone is calling out my name. I guarantee that. Now, I had thought, previously, before the concert started, as we was lining up, I could have sworn I've seen someone I know from my school there, but that's a female, not a male. This was a male voice, like maybe in his late 20s, early 30s, type thing. Or maybe in his 40s. I'm not sure. I know this guy was balding, and I've known guys in high school who have been balding, so I don't doubt for a fact if he's late 20s, early 30s, So, and then all of a sudden, this guy, so we're talking to the couple when this guy stands next to us, unknowingly knowing my name is Trevor. Keep in mind, the couple, I can't remember if the couple remembers if my name is Trevor, or if they knew my name was Trevor. So the guy's like, "Hey, have you guys seen this guy named Trevor?" And I was like, "Well, I'm Trevor." "Well, my name is Trevor." And then he's like, "Sweet," it gives me a cup of beer. First of all, not the first time that's happened. My great grandmother-in-law, or my great grandfather's wife, gave me a beer thinking it was soda, or that I was over 21. So that's not the first time I was given beer unintentionally. Which, by the way, at this point, I would have been like, I was given beer. I'm gonna take this fucking opportunity, drink up, Which, let me just say, I don't condone the use of underage drinking. I do because I don't give a fuck, So, and but my dad stops me, and so so we get to talking to this guy. We learn this guy's name was Evan. So Volbeat starts. And so And so his wife moves up, leaving his husband, leaving her husband by a bit. She stayed next to me, but not in like a sense of like, you know, hey, we're cool now, but just in the sense of like, you know, I was close to the stage, so she wanted to move up closer, but while being in the distance of her husband, which meant my dad was hanging close by, so that basically meant she was standing next to me. So Volbeat performs a few songs, and then in between those songs, the guy Evan is in front of me. And so he screams out, Trevor! So I was like, I got this. So I screamed back, Evan. I was like, Evan! And so he turns around, he's dying laughing, high-fiving, and that is like the funniest point of my life. Because it's Slipknot hasn't even performed yet. I'm having an amazing fucking time. So yeah. I feel like maybe it was, yeah, overall, such an amazing concert, an amazing experience. I still have the videos, I still have that t-shirt, although I know to never, although me and my dad both learned a lesson that day, which was that, definitely wear comfortable shoes in case. If we're going to a concert, or if I'm going to a concert, get some Dr. Scholl's. Definitely fucking worth it or something. Now, during Volbeat, keep in mind, high as fuck, uncomfortable, painful, voice is missing. There were a few things I was gonna leave out, or I left out. So, first thing you should know, is that if you ever see if you ever see clips of metal shows, you usually see this big empty circle and people running around in it. That's what's called a mosh pit. Now there are certain rules to the mosh pit. A couple I can say is, one, don't throw anyone in there who doesn't want to go. If you don't want to be in a mosh pit, do not go in. If people are like, hey, join this mosh pit, and you say no, the rules of the mosh pit, they have to oblige with your no. Alright? Because we're not assholes, we're here to have fun. And if we're in a mosh pit, and if we don't want to be in a mosh pit, and we're forced into that mosh pit, we're not going to have fun, you know? Secondly, if someone falls down, pick them up. It's a generous offer. Alright? And I feel like that kind of proves that metalheads aren't assholes. We're just here to have a good time, and we want to make sure you do as well. And I guess it goes without saying, be safe and have fun. Because the point of the mosh pit is, if you're partaking in this mosh pit area, there are two ways you can participate. You can run around and have people throw you back in and push you, or you can be the guy pushing them. And I say guy loosely. You can guy or girl, whatever. But I don't use guy as gender specific as opposed to as a whole. Or I use guys as a talking to everyone as opposed to like just males. So yeah, so we're close to the mosh pit. Like if I was in a concert, it would be like right here. Like right there. Like I'm not close enough to where I could throw people, but I'm not far enough to where I cannot see it. So people are bumping into other people, and that causes some recoil, which meant they move to the side, which means I'm getting bumped into, which pissed me off. But now I'm like, hey, you know, they're having fun. So yeah, just if you guys don't know what a mosh pit is, just Google mosh pit. They'll tell you all about it. It's fucking awesome. Another thing, so Slipknot does this thing during this song, Spit It Out. And what they do is Corey Taylor. Now, keep in mind, I have seen it tons of Slipknot clips. I know exactly what's happening during this song. This song plays, I'm like, oh shit, it's going down. It's fucking going down, you know? And so what they'll do is there's a certain part in the breakdown where Mick Thompson, I think it's always been Mick Thompson, he'll play the same note repeated, and then Corey Taylor will be like, alright, here's the thing we do. I want all of you guys, all you crazy motherfuckers, get down on the fucking ground. You know? And what he means is like squat down. That's basically what it means. Alright? And he says, when I say jump the fuck up, you're gonna jump the fuck up. Alright? And what that means is, once he says jump up, you jump the fuck up. If it's not obvious, I'm trying to add tension, or I'm trying to make this story a bit better, because I'm pretty sure I'm not doing a good job. So, and so I'm like, oh shit, here it comes. I'm squatting down, I'm like, oh shit. And I went over I told my dad, like, dude, it's about to go down. Literally and metaphorically. And so Corey Taylor restarts the song, or kind of picks up on the song, kind of pick up where he left off, and then all of a sudden he says, "Jump the fuck up." We all jump the fuck up, except for my dad, who is about a second or two behind. So, after the concert, I asked him, like, "Yo, what the fuck happened? Why didn't you jump the fuck up on time?" He says his pants got stuck. I'm like, how the fuck do your pants get stuck? So yeah, and by the way, what's supposed to happen is you jump up and you just keep jumping, you know? And you sing along with him. But, and usually you expect at my situation, I'm in so much pain, I'm tired, I'm high. I wasn't high in the sense of like I was directly taking weed. I don't know if like being contact high also affects it, or if there's certain things that don't restrict you like weed does or whatever. So, but that's the only way I can describe it, because there's no way I could be fucking woozy early on. So I was just like contact high until I figure out something. So we go. And then, but no, I fucking went for it. I jump, and I jump. I'm singing along. Cannot hear me, but whatever. So, and so we leave. Concert's over. I'm shaking because of how fucking awesome it was. But again, tired, hungry, thirsty as fuck. And in so much pain. So I'm sitting there, and have you ever been sitting still, but then you just seem to like move all over the place? You know, you're just like, you think you're standing still, but it just feels like you're moving. You know, like just like one of these. You're just like. Yeah, like that. That's what I felt like the whole time. And we're waiting. So we took a light rail to the concert. So it's after the show. We're waiting. And by the way, I will say one thing though. This one guy said, "Man, the sound quality wasn't as good as last time." And I was sitting here like, dude, it was the fucking best. I just want to be like, hey man, it was amazing. No, but I'm again in so much pain, high as fuck. I can't, you know. I don't want to do that, you know. Also, I got so high at the concert because Corey Taylor likes to banter every now and then, like small little banters and whatnot, like oh fuck, how the fuck are you guys doing today, or some shit like that. And he talked about the fact that like we got each other's backs. That I wanted so high, no shit. I wanted to look at the guy next to me and be like, "Hey, I appreciate you." No, it didn't happen, but whatever. So again, so we go. So we're heading back. All light rail finally comes. All these people are talking about it. I'm having a conversation with this guy about Van Halen, which. No fucking clue what ended up happening, because I completely forgot that. But So so we get home, and me and my dad, it's late. Like, all of the stores are closing. It's like maybe 10 p.m. All of these, like, convenience stores are closing. All the stores are closing. And we're looking for some place to get water, Gatorade, and something to eat. Because we didn't get any at the concert because I didn't want to leave, you know, so... and so we got to the apartment, and no shit, whenever the second I stepped foot in the apartment, I took off my shoes, went to the fridge, grabbed 3 pieces of salami, ate them, and went to bed. And then that was the rest of the night. I can't think of anything else, but yeah. So that is the best. Personally, the best experience. Mentally, the worst experience of my life. Well, physically, the worst experience. What would that be? But overall, I had a fucking amazing time. And yes, I am running out of ideas. Because I'm just getting more excited about this trip more than anything, which is surprising, because in fact, I'm terrified as fuck. So yeah, as you see in this, a video should have been uploaded already. As I'm recording this, it hasn't been uploaded yet. I think it's my game collection. I collected games over the years. I do have Wii games, so if you guys did want to see that, I can more likely do that. It will just have to take a bit longer, to come out. But who knows, maybe I might record it just in case you guys want to see it or whatnot. Even though it's not my collection, because there are a few girly games in there or kid games. But hey, I'm still willing to admit that they're mine, you know. So yeah, if you guys want if there's one thing to take away from this is, you know, you may have a terrible experience in life, but if you have fun at something, if you go to something that is fun, but you just have a terrible experience, it could still have fun. Because yes, I went and saw one of the greatest metal bands of all time, and that's my opinion, of course. Which was a bad idea, because a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, I don't like that opinion." Yeah, well, it's my opinion, whatever. And yes, I went and saw Slipknot live, one of my all-time favorite bands. I have 3 favorite bands, 2 of which is a possibility that I can see, even though I've always seen one of them. But Slipknot live, but I did have a physically worse time, maximum size. Oh well, I don't know what I can do. So yeah, with that being said, yeah, so if there's any advice I can give to someone who aren't metalheads, go to a metal concert. You may not like it, but at least you'll know, at least it'll be a different experience. Yes, you won't like the music and you may walk out. But if you stay throughout the whole concert, there may be certain things you see. Amazing, either it's nice people wanting to have fun, or strobe lights and a bunch of people in face paint, depending on who you go see. If you want my advice, kind of stay away from black metal if you're new to heavy metal. I would definitely try and go see like the heavy metal bands. Just search up heavy metal and then you find a bunch of bands if they're still touring. And try and go and see those. I also advise going to like death metal concerts, because that's where you see a mosh pit and something I've never been in, which is the Wall of Death. And contrary to the name, no one dies. What the Wall of Death is essentially where there's just like there's like a certain part. I guess it's by band's request, and what happens is there's 2 teams on each side, and I've heard different stories of this. So if one person can confirm whether it's one or the other or something different, let me know. So there's this wide open space with 2 people on each with a bunch of people on each side, and they're looking at each other. And by the request of the rocker, or by the request of the singer, he says, "Open the wall or close the walls," or whatever. And what that means is everybody runs in, and I've heard one thing that says once they reach each other, they beat the shit out of each other. But I doubt that, although it would make sense because it is called the Wall of Death. But what I also heard is that you run in and then you just jump and then you like chest bump or like do one of these at people, or you just jump at each other. I don't I don't know why, but if you're at a metal concert, you'll do fucking anything, you know. Yeah, I would say even if you don't like heavy metal, go to a metal concert. Stay at the metal concert because you may not like it, but you will have a different experience. Whether it's for the good or for the bad. Hopefully for the good though, because you know you went to a metal concert. It's something you didn't want to go to, but then you went anyways. And if it's just a waste of your time, then why the fuck would you stay? You know. So, but. Yeah, that's just my advice, my story, my experiences, and to any metal fans watching, what is your best and worst, or what was the best experience you had at a metal concert that had like possibly a worst moment, like oh, I went and saw Cannibal Corpse and someone took a shit on my shoe or whatever. If that actually happened. Oh, I would beat the shit out of that guy because I do not like shit. But and I mean literally, like literal shit. So yeah, with that being said, that is this video. If you guys are new to my channel, make sure to leave a like. If you guys did like the video, make sure to leave a like. Comment down below whatever you want. I don't give a shit. But if you guys have been to a metal concert, tell me the worst experience from the best moment ever of that concert. Like I mentioned before, you went and saw a Cannibal Corpse, and someone took a shit on your shoe. Speaking of which, just because Cannibal Corpse is the name doesn't mean they actually believe in that shit. Don't get any ideas. They don't wish anyone was dead. Even though one of the guys was caught and found with a bunch of guns, that doesn't count. That doesn't matter. If you're new, subscribe. I really appreciate all of the subscribers I got, because it may not seem like it, but I really do appreciate you guys. Because that's why I have this. That's why I made this story, was to show, just because I want to be able to talk to you guys, kind of give you guys a story, because I care about you guys. Even though it's like 42 minutes of 35, 36, 37 fucking seconds, but still, and hit the bell notification if you do subscribe, because I don't have a schedule, and then, especially coming up Wednesday, I won't be able to have a schedule, so that means, you'll be notified of when I upload on the very rare occasion, I'm pretty sure at this point. So yeah, be sure to subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification to be notified whenever I get uploads, even though the bell notification doesn't probably work. But if you click on the bell and set it to all as opposed to frequent or personally, then I think you get notified anyways. Even though the bell button has been working for me a lot more, so it has been working for me. And yeah, leave a like if you're new. Loser Maniac out.